Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. We are doing something very new for me, on my channel at least. Today, I'm sharing with you guys a Will I Buy It, also known as a purchaser pass on my radar. I know there's a lot of different titles for these videos. A lot of people do these and I love watching these videos. The originator of these videos, as many of you probably know, is the amazing Samantha March, who you guys know that I absolutely love. And despite the fact that I love these videos so much, I've never really been one to film them for two reasons, I think. The first one being that I'm not very good at consistency, especially when it comes to kind of series. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better when it comes to that, but I just never had confidence in myself to be consistent enough. And in addition to that, I also am someone that you guys very well may know, I don't buy a ton of makeup, especially high-end makeup, at least not as much as I feel like a lot of other creators buy, which is no form of judgment whatsoever. It's just kind of my situation as being a smaller channel and buying this stuff myself. Being a mother to 4 kids, which I know I talk about all the time, probably annoys the heck out of you guys, but it is a huge factor in my budget. So I kind of feel like me doing a Will I Buy It, I'm gonna say no to almost everything. But as I'm kind of finding my identity as a channel, I recognize that despite my efforts to not buy a lot of makeup, I still buy more makeup than I probably should. And I know that all of us are interested either for the good or the bad in a lot of the new releases coming out. So why not sit down and chat about it together? And I've actually been getting quite a few questions from you guys about a lot of these new releases. So I thought, you know what? Let's just go ahead and talk about it in a video. That was the longest intro ever into what will probably be one of my longest videos ever as well, because I know I can get chatty. Here I go already. We do need to get started, but before we do, I just want to welcome any of you that are new to my channel. I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you have not yet done that. And now let's chat about some new makeup, because as we all know, there is a lot. So before I jump into the products, just to give credit where credit is due, I will be getting most of my information from Trendmood. I will link her down below if you do not follow her. If you are interested in any details about new makeup, you should be following her over on Instagram because she knows everything when it comes to makeup, it seems. But to start things off, we are going to go with the higher end of high-end makeup products, and that is Hourglass. Hourglass tends to release every year around the holiday season their 6-pan face palettes, which usually include a mixture of blushes and bronzers and ambient lighting powders. I mentioned sometime last year in the spring that I did pick up a bronzer from them that I absolutely love. It's a mini bronzer and it literally is tiny. But trying out that product really left me even more intrigued about their products because they really are beautiful and luxurious. A lot of you had recommended one of these 6-pan palettes because even though they're very expensive, and they are $80, they do include 6 Hourglass products, and Hourglass products alone are very, very pricey. But I was tentatively planning to pick up their 6-pan palette. But as I've been watching this release and watching people review it, there's been a lot of people that have said this one's not as good as some of the other ones that they have done. I don't love the look of the packaging, and I know that's a minor thing, but when you're buying a makeup item that's $80, you want everything about it to be perfect. And so I'm really on the fence about this one. I thought for sure I would pick it up, but partly that $80 price tag, when it really comes down to coming out of my wallet, that is just an expensive makeup item. So I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I haven't picked it up yet. I don't plan to pick it up right away. We'll see if my feelings change as it gets closer to the holiday season, or maybe as a Christmas gift possibly. They also did come out with an ambient lighting ghost blush quad. This one is a little bit cheaper. It's $58. There are 4 shades inside here, and because I don't own any Hourglass blushes, this would probably be a good option for me, but then it's still $58 and I'm only getting blushes. So again, I'm kind of on the fence of what I should do about these releases. If I maybe wait till next year, maybe I'll like that one a little bit better, but that's a long ways away. As you can see, I'm very indecisive about this one. I'd love to know any of your thoughts if you guys have tried these out, if you've tried some of their other palettes out. I'm definitely open to being influenced, so let me know what you guys think about that. So I'm going to leave eyeshadow palettes to the end, and we're just going to kind of stick with mostly complexion / non-eyeshadow products. And next up, I want to talk about the Colourpop Pretty Fresh collection. This one did not really catch my attention initially, but as I've seen a couple of reviews come out on this one, it's kind of intriguing me just a little bit. So this collection included 3 things that I was sort of intrigued by. First off is the hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer for $14. They also included a hyaluronic acid setting mist for $12 and a hydrating hyaluronic acid primer also for $12. So the primer really does not interest me at all because I'm just not really a primer person anyways, and I feel like right now I have more primers than I really even need myself. So I want to get through a couple of my primers before I consider this one. I think that's a pretty good price if you are into hydrating primers. I am very intrigued by that setting mist. The people that I have seen review it seem to really love it, and I I love hyaluronic acid. It's one of my favorite skincare ingredients. I actually have an older setting mist that I've talked about a few times that I purchased at Marshall's a few years ago, and I love that stuff. So this one definitely intrigues me a little bit. I think the next time I end up placing a Colourpop order, probably will throw this in my cart, but it's not something I'm really in a rush to purchase. Also, the tinted moisturizer. I was not very interested in this. Samantha March didn't really seem to like this one when she reviewed it. But then I watched Allie Glein's video and she really seemed to love this product. But with it being a tinted moisturizer, I just don't know how often I'll use it. And I have quite a few foundations right now. I just stocked up on my Flower Beauty foundation, which is my all-time favorite foundation. So I don't feel like I really need this one right now, but it's one that definitely kind of caught my eye. Let me know what you guys think about this collection in general. If you have tried any of these things out, I'd love to know your thoughts. All right, so I want to move on to a couple of the Sephora kits that have come out. So again, I'm kind of on the fence about some of these. The one that I think I have the most practical interest in is their Lash Stash. So in this kit, you basically get 2 full-size mascaras and several mini mascaras. So I go through mascaras pretty quickly. I have quite a few that are just about to expire, if not already expired. And I tend to use them a lot, especially when I'm doing those 7 looks videos, because I'm putting mascara on sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. So this kit does include a pair of false lashes, which I'm not interested in at all. It's a pair of Huda Beauty lashes, but it also includes one of my all-time favorite mascaras in a full size, and that's the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I have been without that mascara for about 6 months. I have yet to pick it up because I just have too many mascaras in my collection right now, but I think I'm ready to grab a full size, and I just figured if it comes in this kit, why spend $24 if I could spend double that amount and get not just one more full-size mascara, but a bunch of minis as well. So the other full-size mascara it includes is the Benefit Roller Lash. Let me know if you guys have tried out that mascara. I never have tried it. But in addition to that, we also get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mini mascaras, which I think is so awesome. We have the YSL Mascara Volume Effect Faux Seals, the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, the Tarte Big Eagle Mascara, the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara, a Sephora Collection Mascara. We also get the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara, the NARS Climax Mascara, and a mini of the Pat McGrath Mascara. That is a lot of mascaras, and a lot of those I've been very interested to try, but I'm just not typically one that tries out high-end mascaras very often. But if I'm going to do it, I feel like this is a good way to do it, but it is still $48. So again, I'm just kind of debating where to put my money because I don't have endless amounts of money just sitting tucked away. But this seems like a very practical place for me personally because I do feel like I would definitely use these and also be excited to try some of these out. So let me know your thoughts if you guys have tried out any of those mascaras, love them, or if you don't. Hopefully that will help me make my decision. As for their other kits, they do have this Superstar Kit, which is also $48. This one has just a variety of different products inside of it. This one has an ABH Clear Brow Gel. I believe that one is the full size. A mini of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. A NARS Velvet Matte Lipstick Pencil. I believe that one's a mini as well. Also a mini Bite Beauty Agave Lip Balm. Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, which I love. A Benefit Cosmetics Liquid Liner. A Laura Mercier Caviar Stick. A Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. And also, I believe, a full size Fenty highlight. So this I think is a really good kit. I think I'd probably pick up the lash one before I picked up this one just because it seems a little bit more of a practical, usable kit for me. But I do think that's a really interesting one. So I think those are pretty much the only non-eyeshadow related items that kind of interested me. Now we're going to move into eyeshadow palettes, and there are a lot of them. The first one that you guys have asked me about are the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palettes. These are going to be a pass for me. I have to say, when Volume 3 came out, I was a little bit intrigued by that one. It seems to have the most neutral colors in it, a lot of beautiful browns. But again, I know that I will never wear those bright greens. That's definitely one shade that is just not something I'm ready for yet. I'm not ready for a lime green eyeshadow on my eyes. I just know that's not something that I would wear. And while I think $60 is a pretty good deal for that large of a palette and a really good formula, if I'm not going to wear all the shades, it just doesn't make a lot of practical sense for me to invest in one. But let me know if you guys have tried any of these out. I know a lot of people have really been loving them. So I wanted to just briefly touch on the Pat McGrath quads that have come out. The only reason I wanted to touch on these is, does anyone else think that the idea of paying $65 for 4 shades is just a little bit crazy? I know that a lot of people love her shadows. They swear by her formulas and her interesting finishes, but I just can't do that. I definitely can't do that. But let me know if any of you guys have tried out any of her eyeshadows. Okay, one more palette I wanted to bring up that's probably going to be a pass for me, but kind of had me intrigued, is the Dominique Cosmetics Sweater Weather palette. This one was just barely released, I want to say just a couple of days ago, and I think this is the cutest packaging and the cutest name for an eyeshadow palette that I have ever seen. Seriously, Sweater Weather? Who does not love Sweater Weather? And the packaging on this thing looks like a pink sweater. Oh my goodness, it is so adorable. The funny thing is, the thing I love most about this palette is the name of it, the packaging, and the name of the shades inside. So a couple of the names of the shades inside, which are also so adorable, are Sweater Weather, Toasty, Cuddle, and Messy Bun. Okay, Messy Bun. If you don't know, I am a huge fan of the Messy Bun, or just the bun in general, especially when I'm wearing a sweater. I almost want this palette just for a shade that's named Messy Bun. But then I have to remind myself, that is a terrible reason for spending $29. I think that price seems a little high for 6 matte shades, but I've never tried Dominique Cosmetics formula, and I know that a lot of people really love it. The shades I think are really beautiful, but I know because there's not a variety of finishes in there, it's probably not a standalone palette for me, and I think it is a little bit pricey for I think what's inside. Okay, so those are all the palettes that have intrigued me, but I think I'll probably pass on for the time being. Now I want to get to the 3 palettes that really have my interest. So let's go into those, and we're going to start off with, you probably guessed it, the Carli Bybel palette. You guys probably know I have a weakness for Anastasia eyeshadow palettes, especially their traditional 14 pan eyeshadow palettes. They get me every time. And here's the funny thing about this palette. When I first saw this palette released, I took a look at it and I kind of thought, I'll pass on that one. And I kind of felt relieved that I didn't feel instantly drawn to it. Part of the reason for that is I'm not a big fan of the outer packaging, at least not the pictures of the outer packaging. I think it's a little bit odd. I know a lot of people have kind of been complaining about it. I'm very curious to see what it looks like in person, because there's a good chance it might be a lot prettier in person than it is in the pictures. But those little circles look like fish eyeballs to me, and for some reason that kind of like messes with my mind. It looks like a bunch of eyeballs staring up at me. However, as it keeps popping up on Trendmood, as I've seen the swatches of this palette, it really looks pretty. And what I love about this palette is that it's very soft and neutral, but what I know about Anastasia formulas is that just because their colors might be neutral or soft does not mean that they are not interesting. Anastasia palettes, at least the ones since Soft Glam, seem to have such a variety of finishes in them that are all so well done that I'm really interested and excited to see what these shadows look like in person. There's a couple shades in here that swatch somewhat similar to each other, but my guess is that in person the finishes are very different, and that's what I think makes the Anastasia palettes extra special. They have such a variety of not just colors but also finishes that it makes their palettes really fun to work with. And I've got to say, you guys, these pastels, if you are into just very feminine looking eye looks, I think these are probably going to be really pretty. Now I think if I broke down every individual shade inside here, there's a good chance I could maybe not dupe them, but find similarities to a lot of these. But am I ever actually going to pull out 7 different eyeshadow palettes to create one eyeshadow look? Probably not. Now I don't necessarily think that's a reason to go out and spend $42 or maybe $45 on an eyeshadow palette. Oh, I am on the fence with this one. It actually releases tomorrow, and I feel like I have 12 hours left to decide if I'm going to pick this thing up or not. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Chances are by the time you guys see this video, I probably have made the decision for or against getting this palette, but it's definitely one that's grown on me. Oh, I think it's going to be a pretty one. The next palette that has me intrigued is from Lawless Beauty. I've heard really good things about Lawless Beauty's eyeshadow formula. They have their, I think it's called the One eyeshadow palette that came out, I think about a year ago maybe. I don't know for sure, but that one was a little bit bigger of a palette. This is a smaller palette. It's only 8 shadows. It's $25. This looks like a very basic neutral palette. We probably all own similar shades to these in other palettes, but I'm very curious to try their formula, and my guess, this is a palette that's going to create some maybe basic but super beautiful eye looks. I personally think that regardless of what your skin tone is, regardless of your age, anybody can pull off a beautiful golden brown smoky eye. It's one of those like timeless looks that looks absolutely amazing on anyone. If you are only into neutrals and you like going high end, I think this would probably be a really good palette to go for. Again, you guys, I haven't tried their formula, but I know that a lot of people really love it. But I've got to say, you guys, there's one other release that has me a little bit more intrigued than this one. So this one I would have to rank at number 3 on the 3 possibilities that I might purchase as far as eyeshadow palettes go. And the other release that has me very intrigued is the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions palettes. So you guys might know that I am a little obsessed with the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. They are some of my favorite palettes because they are so tiny, but they pack such an awesome, high quality, fun color story punch. I love them. I have 4 of them and I really love them so much, but these ones, ooh, they are so beautiful. So her inspiration behind these color stories are skin tone based. So she has a light version, a medium version, and a rich version. They are all absolutely stunning, but I think the two that I am most interested in, because I just don't think it's smart for me to buy all three of these. That's like $80 worth of eyeshadow palettes, which, yeah, it's just not wise. But if I went with two, I probably would go for the light version and the rich version. I just think those, especially as companion palettes for each other, would be so stunning. These swatches look so pretty to me. And I have to say, the lilac palette from Colourpop that came out, geez, was that like last month? I was intrigued by that palette initially because I think the pastel purples in there are really pretty, but I would take this palette over the Colourpop one, even though this one is a little bit more expensive. I just think you get more variety in here. You get a rich, what is that color? It's like a brown and a rose at the same time. Oh, it's so stunning. You've got some like pink golds in here. You have lilacs. This just is such a beautiful kind of pastel palette. It does have some subtle similarities to the Carli Bybel palette, but again, you guys, this is a tough decision. I don't know which of these, if I had to pick either the Carli one or one or both of these ones, that would just be a really tough decision for me. I also think the rich one is stunning. You guys know I love rich tones, especially when it comes to like browns or purple tone browns or rosy browns or burgundies. Those are some of my favorite colors to smoke out my crease and my lash line. And this one just looks so stunning as well. So the thing about these palettes I think is really smart is for people that maybe don't know a lot about color selection, you can kind of pick a palette based on your skin tone and sort of have a foolproof way of guaranteeing that that palette is going to work for you. Any of these palettes could work on any skin tone. I mean, I think the rich palette could be absolutely beautiful on someone with lighter skin tone, and vice versa. I think that light palette with the pastels and kind of the lighter pinky golds could also be really stunning on medium to deep skin tones as well. So certainly don't let those names of skin tones inhibit you. I think that they can be used on a variety of skin tones. I think that just is more of a marketing thing to help people that maybe don't know as much about eyeshadow color selection. But these kind of have my heart. I don't see a price on here. I want to say these are typically $27 or $28. I will list the price down below if I can find it online, but I am intrigued, guys. I am very, very intrigued by these. All right, and we are now at like the 60-minute mark. This is going to be a fun one to edit. Tough to condense this down, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting for you guys hearing my thoughts on some of these new releases. I would love, as I mentioned in the beginning, to hear your thoughts on these as well. Are you interested in these? Are you not? Is it in the budget for you? Or are you guys just completely over makeup releases? Because there are days that I feel that way myself. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys again for stopping by my channel, for spending your time with me today. If you are new, I hope that you'll consider subscribing. Ring the notification bell just so that you know every time I upload a new video. And that is it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye. First off, the nails and the matching eyes. If that does not blow your mind, I don't know what will. You guys know I love to match. Initially, I was even wearing this eggplant colored shirt, but I thought that was just a little much. So we went for the lighter tone marching band chic sweater. I sincerely hope that these things behave during this video. And my hair is stuck inside my hoop and I can't get it out. Ah! We watched Goonies last weekend. Two of my kids, it was their first experience watching Goonies. Oh man, they've all been walking around like Baby Ruth. And I've had Cyndi Lauper stuck in my head for the last 3 days.